In this experiment, we are going to study different microorganisms with the help of permanent slides. The material required is a microscope, permanent slides of bacteria, Spirogyra, Chlamydomonas, amoeba, Paramoecium, yeast, and whatever other microorganisms you can get. When you look at bacterium under a microscope, this is the structure you will see. This is what they actually look like. Small round spheres of pink color. These are a particular kind of bacterium that you see here, but not all bacteria are the same because bacteria are of different shapes, and on the basis of their shapes they have been classified into different types. On the whole, the bacteria is considered to be a prokaryotic cell because it does not have a nuclear membrane around its nucleus. So as you can look in this figure, this is just the genetic material of the bacteria, which is lying loosely embedded in the cytoplasm without any nuclear membrane. That is why bacteria are considered to be prokaryotic organisms. On the basis of their shapes, bacteria could be called as coccus if they are round, bacillus if they are cylindrical in shape, spirochete if they are spiral in shape, spirilla if they look like this, and vibrio if they are comma-like in shape. This is the structure of a cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria are also known as the blue-green bacteria because they are photosynthetic in nature. And some of the cyanobacteria have a special ability of fixing atmospheric nitrogen to nitrogenous compounds in the soil, and thereby they increase the fertility of the soil. Next, this is a slide showing you what fungi look like under a microscope. So basically, the slide that currently you are seeing here is a slide showing yeast, and you know yeast reproduces asexually with the process of budding. And if you look at the figure very closely, if you look at the image very closely, you can see these small buds coming out of yeast, and that is forming like a chain of yeast cells in the uh, actual slide that we are seeing here. Otherwise, fungi are of various types. Again, they could be like mushroom. So mushroom is also a kind of a fungus. Then penicillium is also a fungus. It is in fact the first fungus from which the first antibiotic penicillin was extracted. Then yeast, you are already seeing in the figure. Then aspergillus is another kind of a fungus, and this is the common bread mold. When you see the bread going stale and the greenish white cottony growth on the bread when it goes bad, and if you observe that under a microscope, you will see structures like this showing the rhizoids. So this is about fungi. Next, we'll see some organisms belonging to the category of protozoa. So currently, the image here is that of a amoeba. If you observe a slide of amoeba under a microscope, you will observe a structure like this. And if we talk about the actual composition, what it actually is, it has a prominent nucleus here. Then this is the cytoplasm in which the cell organelles are embedded. And we all know that amoeba does not have any particular shape of its own. It can just extend its false feet called pseudopodia, and they help it in engulfing the food also, in movement also, in excretion also, and various other processes. Then this is the slipper animal, or the slipper molecule as it is known as. We call it the Paramoecium. If you observe Paramoecium under a microscope, you will see this kind of an image. Actually, like if we talk about the detailed structure, it will look something like this. This is the microscopic view of the Protozoa euglena. It is a green colored protozoa, and it can perform photosynthesis since it has the pigment chlorophyll in it. You can see chloroplast is present in euglena, which is responsible for its green color. This slide shows you what Chlamydomonas looks like. Chlamydomonas is a kind of an alga. You can see it has these thread-like structures known as flagella, which help in locomotion. It also has a cell wall, nucleus, chloroplast, imparting the green color, making it photosynthetic in nature. This is the microscopic view of the filamentous algae Spirogyra, which is again green in color. You can see the chloroplast here is spiral in shape and it is again photosynthetic, and ribbon shaped chloroplast are the characteristic of this algae Spirogyra. Next, what is a virus? These days we have been through the COVID pandemic and we all know what a virus is. But when we observe a virus under a microscope, this is the structure that you see, the one in purple on the right hand side. Because virus is one such organism which is considered to be on the borderline of living and non-living. That means when a virus is outside a living cell, it is considered to be non-living, but once it enters a living cell, it behaves like living. So these are some common organisms based on the five kingdom classification that we see around us. Obviously, we can't see them with our naked eyes because they are all microscopic. But yes, with the help of a microscope, we can observe them, and I hope you will be doing the same in your school lab as well.